Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to take a look at Joy from Inside Out. And Joy's ability description is clear zooms in the shape of a V, and the demonstration that you're currently watching on this gameplay is a skill level 1 game demonstration, so her skill range is going to be extra small. So let's take a look at Joy's stats. If you do want to activate Joy's ability, you'll need to clear a total of 15 copies of her off the screen. Her minimum score is 110 with a maximum score of 943. From a score perspective, it's nothing too amazing, but it's not bad either. Joy's minimum score is actually pretty good, but maximum score is average, so nothing too amazing. But if you do want to get Joy to skill level 6, you only need 29 copies of her, so that's pretty low from a skill level 6 perspective. So if you want to max out Joy, it's actually pretty doable. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend you to use skill tickets to level up Joy, because I think that there are better zooms out there that you could use. Joy is a very easy zoom to use, so one of the strategies that I would recommend you to use is before you activate her ability, wait a couple of seconds or just make sure that the screen is full of zooms before you activate her ability. And you don't need to use Joy with gyro on, you could just play regularly with the gyro off. With it off, I find that sometimes the zooms actually fall faster, so it's better to actually play with the gyro off. And every single time you level up Joy's ability, the skill range is going to get a little bit bigger and bigger, and that skill range is in reference to the thickness of the actual V shape. So let's say like at skill level 1, your thickness might only be 2 or so rows, but as you level up her ability, that thickness will get thicker and thicker. And in order for you to really see that, let's take a look at her ability, comparing it between the other 3 skill levels. So let's take a look at her abilities at skill level 1, 2, and 3. So for skill level 1, the skill range is going to be extra small. The skill range for level 2 is going to be small, and skill range for skill level 3 will be medium. Alright, so let's get into it and take a look at her ability and also the gameplay here. So overall, I don't necessarily think Joy is one that you need to level up or to get. She's actually going to be the worst one out of the 4 new ones that we have for this month, so you could probably save your skill tickets and even coins. I do think that Joy is really easy to play. I think she's going to be the easiest zoom to use for this month, and it is very beginner friendly because all you really need to do is just make sure the screen is full of zooms before you activate the ability. And also you don't need to use gyro, so that's another benefit of using Joy. The only downside to Joy is that there's not a lot of coins that you get from her. Her ability is easy to use, but unfortunately she doesn't get a lot of coins at these lower skill level. You're probably better off with even getting Sadness or Fabulous Lightning McQueen. Those other 2 are gonna be better. And of course Woody and Buzz will be the best option, but Woody and Buzz is so hard to get. He has such a low drop rate. But out of the 4, I would just pass on Joy. I would be a thumbs down for this one. But her animation is really cool though. If you take a look at her animation, she pops out, and that little board that you see at the very bottom is actually the control panel. So if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Essentially, she is the brains of the whole operation, and she is on her control board and then does a little dance because she's very joyful. And like I mentioned earlier as well, is that as you level her skill level up, the thickness of the V will get a little bit bigger. So if you just take a closer look at skill level 2 and 3, you'll see that the little V shape is a little bit bigger compared to a previous skill level. But you know what I should do is let me do a side-by-side comparison of activating the abilities at the same time, so that way you can really see the animation as well as the difference between all 3 of the skill levels. So what we have is Joy popping out of her control panel, and then a V shape is made. So this is what I was talking about earlier, is if you take a look at this V shape, for skill level 1 the thickness is about 1 to 2 rows, but for skill level 2 it's guaranteed that you're gonna get a row of 2 zoom clears. But starting at skill level 3, that V shape kind of becomes like a U. It gets pretty thick, especially in the center middle area. You can see that there are rows of anywhere between 2 to 3 clears, so it's pretty powerful at skill level 3. But unfortunately at skill level 1 and 2, it's not that amazing because it's a pretty thin line there. Of course, it is better than a horizontal clear where there's only 1 or 2 rows. But let me skip ahead here and show you what I earned for these chains. For skill level 1, I got a chain of 20. Skill level 2, I got a chain of 25. And for skill level 3, I got a chain of 28. So nothing too amazing here. All 3 of these were still in just the wonderful category. If we were able to get something in the fantastic, that would be a little bit better. But in this case, it's not that great, given that it is a skill level 3 ability. Okay, let's skip on ahead to the end of this gameplay here, because I do want to show you what my coin earnings are, so that way you can determine if Joy is one you want to get, or how you might be able to optimize the coin earnings. For skill level 1, I ended up with 954 coins. Skill level 2, I ended up with 1,146 coins. And for skill level 3, I ended up with 1,627 coins. And as you could see, all 3 of these are not going to be great for earning coins. You're better off with using other Tsums, and even using the Tsums that are free from the very beginning, like Mickey, or even using Gadget, are better off than using Joy. So I definitely wouldn't recommend you to invest in getting Joy to a higher skill level. I don't think it's worth the coins and worth the skill ticket. So for score, they're roughly the same. Between skill level 1 and 2, you have about 2,480,000 or so. For skill level 3, you're in the 3 million range, but still nothing too amazing here. There's definitely a lot of better Tsums out there that you could use. But anyways, I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, feel free to subscribe to this channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.